Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. Man United's injury woes deepen, and Bruno Fernandes delivers a scathing verdict on Casemiro's recent displays. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. Manchester United injury update. Luke Shaw was unable to see out the full 90 minutes against Brentford after going down off the ball and hobbling off during the second half. The gaffer didn't offer an immediate update on the fullback's condition following the final whistle, with further clarity expected later this week. Matheus Cunha was a surprise absentee from the team sheet to face Brentford. He had played nearly the full duration of the victory over Chelsea after bagging the winner, but it emerged ahead of kickoff that he had picked up a minor hip flexor injury in the process. Carrick revealed that Cunha was nursing a bit of a sore hip flexor following the Chelsea fixture. Despite looking promising during the week and the staff hoping he might be fit to feature, he simply didn't recover in time. Matthijs de Ligt has endured a hugely frustrating season, defined almost entirely by a lower back injury which has kept him sidelined since November. Regarding his rehabilitation, Carrick explained that the defender is undergoing a variety of treatments and exercises. While he is currently working away in the gym, he has yet to return to the grass and isn't quite ready for that step. It is a process that players unfortunately have to navigate when sidelined. Sometimes recovery moves swifter than expected, while other times things don't quite go to plan and the timeline is a bit slower. De Ligt is currently at the stage of working through his recovery as the club looks to get him back to full fitness. Bruno Fernandes striking remarks on Casemiro following Old Trafford victory. Manchester United managed to get their own back and won the match against Brentford at Old Trafford with a narrow 2-1 scoreline. This crucial fixture in the 34th week of the Premier League keeps United well placed in third and looking even more secure for a Champions League spot. Playing at the Theatre of Dreams, Manchester United looked to take the game to the visitors. They straight away started peppering the opposition's defence with wave after wave of attacks. Kobbie Mainoo produced a bit of magic, dancing past several Brentford players. He squared it to Amad Diallo who let fly, but Nathan Collins produced a cracking block to deny the dangerous chance. Other opportunities were just as hairy. From a corner routine, Mbeumo played a short one to Bruno Fernandes who then whipped in a cross. Harry Maguire, rising well to meet it, powered a header towards goal. However, the keeper Kelleher did brilliantly to save Maguire's goal-bound effort. The pressure finally told in the 11th minute, following a corner from Bruno Fernandes. Harry Maguire again got on the end of it, but this time he nodded a loose ball towards the far post. Seeing the opening, Casemiro, who'd read the flight of the ball perfectly, nipped in to bag the opening goal of the game. A goal down, Brentford responded immediately in the 16th minute when Mikkel Damsgaard threaded a pass through to the face of the goal. Michael Keown, having given his marker the slip, nearly drew them level, but his finish was kept out by Sen Lammens. Brentford kept on at them. Once more, Mikkel Damsgaard played a lovely ball into the United box. Igor Thiago latched onto it and bore down on goal. But before he could get his shot away, Aiden Heaven came in with a superb tackle and Lammens gathered. Brentford weren't done yet. Damsgaard was at it again on the left, crossing into the box. Igor Thiago was there to meet it and struck it well, but Lammens was alert as ever to tip it away. Brentford's chances didn't manage to change the score, and in fact, the opposite happened. United hit them on the break through Bruno Fernandes, who'd picked up a clearance from Amad Diallo. Bruno carried the ball into the box and rolled it across to Benjamin Sesko. Sesko, out on the left, took it in his stride, turned his man, and slotted it home in the 43rd minute. That 2-0 lead held until the ref blew for halftime. In the second half, Brentford tried to put the squeeze on to pull one back after being 2 down at the break. Midway through the half, the game went a bit flat. Both teams found it a bit of a slog to create anything clear-cut. Brentford, who had the lion's share of the ball in the latter stages of the half, finally got their goal in the 87th minute. Matheus Jensen caught one sweet from distance, and it flew into the bottom left corner past Sen Lammens. They managed to make it a nervy finish, but the 2-1 score held until the final whistle, marking a proper win for Manchester United. In this match, United had 5 shots on target from 11 attempts. Meanwhile, Brentford had 4 on target from 9. As for possession, Brentford was slightly ahead with 54%, while United had 46%. Casemiro was the talk of the town, picking up the MVP award. He topped the ratings on nearly every stat site, including a 9.4 on SofaScore. He got United off the mark with a sharp header, making it his 8th headed goal in the Premier League this season. Defensively, he was top drawer too. putting in 4 successful tackles, 9 clearances, and winning 16 out of 18 duels. He's now bagged 9 goals in 32 Premier League appearances, with 5 of those coming since Carrick took the reins. The skipper, Bruno Fernandes, had plenty to say about his teammate, remarking that Casemiro is a massive influence on the side. Bruno spoke of his pride that Casemiro is still giving his heart and soul even though he's set to move on at the end of the season. Bruno lauded his timing and his knack for finding space at set pieces, as well as his top-notch heading which so often results in a goal. Bruno also mentioned that Casemiro is really making the most of his final games in the Prem before leaving United. The captain is certain that the professionalism Casemiro is showing right until the end is dead-set proof of the winner's mentality he brought with him. It is quite rare to see a player remain so incredibly focused on the collective goal while his personal future lies elsewhere. This narrow but massive win at Old Trafford doesn't just steady the ship for United at the top of the table, but it also shows just how vital leadership is in Michael Carrick's squad. With only a few games left to play, a gritty performance like this is exactly what the Red Devils need heading into the Champions League next season. The supporters will no doubt be buzzing to see their team show such character when the stakes are at their absolute highest. Manchester United looking to offload Ugarte and bolster midfield. Manchester United are reportedly gearing up for a significant overhaul of their midfield department as the 2026 summer transfer window beckons. Much of the discourse at Old Trafford is currently centered on Manuel Ugarte, whose future looks increasingly precarious after failing to nail down a starting spot. Under Michael Carrick's tutelage, United's demand for swift transitions appears at odds with the Uruguayan international's natural game. The tactical shift towards a more fluid, possession-based approach has essentially left the combative midfielder out in the cold. Ugarte's inability to adapt to Carrick's tactical blueprint has prompted decisive action from the club's hierarchy. United are understood to have made the difficult call to put him on the transfer list. This move is intended to trim the squad and clear the decks for a new midfield profile deemed a better fit for the philosophy being established for the coming campaign. It is a bold statement of intent from the manager, proving that no player is safe if they cannot meet the specific demands of his system. Aware that the player's market value has dipped, United are reportedly prepared to take a financial hit. The club have slapped a price tag on Ugarte in the region of £35 million to £40 million, a figure considerably lower than his original transfer fee. Nevertheless, this situation has piqued interest across the continent, with Italian giants Juventus emerging as the front-runners to snap up the former PSG man. The Bianconeri are believed to be keen on a cut-price deal to add some much-needed grit to their own engine room. Ugarte's potential departure isn't the only major item on the agenda, as Casemiro's contract is set to expire this coming June. Losing a veteran of his stature leaves a massive void that requires a new leader in the engine room. For the Ineos management team, finding a successor in the holding midfield role is an absolute priority to ensure the team's stability remains intact during this transitional period. Replacing such an experienced serial winner will be no mean feat, but the club hierarchy views it as a vital step in their long-term rebuild. The name Sandro Tonali has consequently surfaced as the dream target to fill that pivotal role. The Newcastle United midfielder is regarded as possessing the complete set of attributes required by the Red Devils: sharp vision, precise passing, and the physical graft needed to thrive at the sharp end of the Premier League. For Ineos, Tonali is the missing piece of the puzzle required to forge a more dynamic and aggressive midfield. Scouts have reportedly been keeping a close eye on his performances at St. James Park, noting his ability to dictate the tempo of top-flight matches. However, United's lofty ambitions have hit a formidable financial brick wall. Newcastle, well aware of their prized assets' worth, have reportedly slapped a staggering £100 million price tag on him. This figure will give United serious pause for thought as they look to balance the books and remain compliant with the league's sustainability rules. Such a king's ransom would represent a massive chunk of their summer budget, potentially hampering their ability to strengthen other areas of the pitch. Beyond the eye-watering transfer fee, United also face the hurdle of the player's personal preferences. Rumours suggest that Tonali would be more inclined to return to Italy should he leave St. James Park. This emotional pull adds another layer of complexity for United's recruitment team as they attempt to convince the midfielder to remain in English football. The lure of a return to his homeland is a powerful factor that could see United lose out to Serie A suitors regardless of the money on the table. This dilemma has forced the Manchester United board to think on their feet. On one hand, Tonali is seen as the ideal long-term solution, but on the other, the risk of the deal collapsing is high given the competition and the steep valuation. This has sparked internal debates over whether the club should break the bank with a maximum bid or start turning their radar towards other options. Ultimately, the decision made in the coming weeks will likely define the success of Carrick's second full season in the hot seat. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.